the easy thing to say is, well, they're living through their kid. We all do. I mean, I want my kids to be uh, successful. I want them to be more successful than me. And yeah, when they're, my youngest is, he's a football guy, man. He loves playing football. When you know, when he just totally decks somebody, hell yeah, I get fired up. Am I, his biggest fan in terms of, go out there and go ahead and work towards your first NFL contract? No, but a lot of people are. And in golf, with my older son showing that he could play very early, I'd have people come up to me and say, "Man, that's your retirement right there," and I could not fathom that. Why that your brain? I'm like, yeah, well, that's and my stock answer was, well, that's up to him.
Yeah.
You know, it is. And I'm like, look, if he goes to school on a golf scholarship and is able to play, uh, write his ticket kind of thing, that's all I want. I mean, what he wants to do with his life is his choice. In terms of, I want to go into business, or I want to do this, I want to start a business, I want to, whatever it is. I mean, hell, if you want to go dance, who cares? I mean, that's to do. Okay, if he tries to be a dancer, that might be a little bit of a stretch, but because he does have my genes. But lying, I got moves, man. But it's just one of those deals where I don't have like a you know an interest in him once he gets to a certain point. If he's successful, okay, great. I'm ecstatic. But some of these folks are insane, and that mentality that you're talking about has come to golf. With a lot more people coming in, from other sports. Like I think I've told you this. I've never heard when we started playing at a certain level. I started hearing the words cheater, cheater. I had never heard that on a golf course. And if you did, those are fighting words.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big deal for me growing up. If somebody, accused you of cheating, I did get accused of it one time because the guy's, um, his whole case was there's no way you missed that many greens and shot that number.
Yeah.
That's how I fucking play, asshole. Yeah, I don't hit many greens. I get up and down out of a trash can. That's what I do. You know, um, so yeah, I had one of those deals where I shot, I think it was one under on the front, and yeah, I think I hit two greens. So that's the way it worked out. But he couldn't get it in his head that okay, I'm over here, over here. I'm at all points getting it in the jar. Well, hey, all I had to do was make one or two birdies, and there you go. But yeah, it's now, man. If somebody thinks that your kid shot a better score than they, you know, thought they could shoot, immediately they're going to question it. That child's cheating. You Say it, and I'm like, man, if I ever had that said to me, I had actually when I was coaching middle school, I had to calm a few folks down. Of course I had to do that, right? I said, well, she posted a number. There's no way she could shoot that number. So we watching her at all? Huh? It's like, yeah. I mean, there were other parents out there. Nobody said a thing. You were on the other side of the golf course, and because that kid played better than you thought they could, they're automatically a cheater. And that's just something that I had to. I wouldn't even say get used to, but had to, kind of condition my ears to hearing. You know,
That's an interesting point because I'm having firsthand experience with this. Again, my daughter's first year into the school program, so to speak, and so the yeah, there's some questions as far as how some of these kids are performing and whatnot, and it's bad one week and good the next, and it's well yeah, but because they've been working hard, they're playing better because they've been working hard and they've been working on certain things, right? And I think some of the shock factor for a lot of it's not a shock factor until they understand what my background is that in 10 months my daughter and the neighbor girl who are, they've worked their ass off. And so, yeah, she went out and shot 105 yesterday. Yeah, we could have we could have sat down and gone over it and figured out where it could have been. She hit the driver well enough to shoot 78. But again, that's how do you do that? How do you go through that, right? It's you just have to learn it and you have to get better at it. And so I'm understanding the idea of firsthand of whether somebody's shooting scores that are on the up and up. And now you know how that works. All that stuff washes out in the end.
Oh yeah, and I mean, there's, you know, of course you're going to have people that, especially kids, have trouble counting, keeping up with shots, all those things. Kids not cheating. You're hanging a pretty good, uh, uh, you know, a just this label of cheater across them, you know, and that to me that sticks with you for life. Because it only takes a few people to say it, right?
It always
And
did
then,
back in the day.
oh my gosh, back in the day, I mean, back in the day, there were so many different ways to do it. I mean, in the wood driver days, if you were rubbing, you could actually rub your driver, especially growing up in the South like I did, rub your driver on your face to get some of that oil on it. I swear to God. And you'd see guys over, and I'm like, come on, man, what the hell?
Yeah.
So it's like, he could do that. I mean, there was, of course, Vaseline on it, uh, which was, pretty.
Remember the butterscotch? What were the butterscotch lifesavers? Those things were during the winter.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's just we're playing winter rules, right? So we're bumping it around, and you take a butterscotch lifesaver, throw it on the ground, and just tee it up on top of that sucker, and you wouldn't be the
uh,
wiser.
I mean, there was the old story about Jumbo Ozaki, who used to come over and play the
Oh
Masters,
yeah,
right?
oh yeah.
And Jumbo won all these tournaments in Japan, came over here, and he always kind of fizzled out, right? And the whole knock on him was he's hitting a pinnacle off the tee,
Yeah,
and they're just switching to a Titleist in the fairway.
yeah, yeah. Correct.
you
Right.
know, um, which actually I was lucky enough to play the Bridgestone J driver, which was named after Jumbo. It was one of the best drivers ever. That had a head as big as Mike. But yeah, it's you hear all the stories and stuff. I mean, guys digging out grooves and all that. Um, but I don't know. It's just it seems more. We every tournament we would run. Some kid would come in. I think he's cheating. Well, do you think or do you know? Or is some dad got a hole in his pocket and the ball comes flying out of his shorts because
Yeah.
the kid floods.
Yes.
Just there's all those things, and I'm like, the, there has to be when you teach your kids how to play, the honor of the game and the honor of being of being honest and trustworthy. That has to be paramount, and I just don't think it is now.